Hello, everyone. This is Sean from Barry Digital Media, and I hope you are doing well. And today we're going to take a look at a couple interview tips using the STAR method. And I have a couple example job posts that I'm going to analyze using that for an interview situation. And they are video game jobs. So if you're interested in a video game career, then it might be especially interesting for you. So, what is the STAR method? The STAR method is a structured technique for answering behavioral interview questions, organizing your response into 4 parts. Situation: describe the context or background of the event, where, when, and your role. Keep it concise and relevant. Task: explain the specific responsibility or goal you are assigned, focusing on your individual role. Action: detail the specific steps you took to address the task, emphasizing your contribution, skills, and decisions. Result: share the outcome of your actions, highlighting measurable achievements or lessons learned, ideally with quantifiable impact. Sounds good. Sounds like a really good way to prepare for interview questions, and then especially using this structure will help it become easier for the interviewer, for the company, to understand what you're saying clearly, and then help differentiate you from competition. So, I found this one job here, a paid media manager from Rockstar Games, and the basic description of the role. Oh, it doesn't have that quite. Let's see. It basically says lead advertising campaign planning, budget allocation, execution, and performance reporting. Own media management as a core function of the team services during driving continual improvement and support research initiatives by investigating partner services, products, and inform strategic decisions. Collaborate with initiative planning teams to define campaign parameters and objectives. So that seems like a pretty good role. Let's see what Gemini here handles that using the STAR method. Here, behavioral interview questions based on the STAR method. Here are some interview questions and examples answers based on the STAR method, tailored to the Rockstar Game paid media manager job description. The STAR method is a structured way of answering behavioral interview questions by outlining a situation, task, action, and result. 1. Handling tight deadlines in multiple projects. Tell me about a time you had to manage multiple high stakes projects with conflicting deadlines. How did you prioritize and ensure everything was completed on time? Answer: situation: in my previous role at a consumer tech company, we were preparing for a major product launch. I was responsible for launching the paid media campaigns across various channels, but at the same time, a new competitor launched, requiring us to quickly execute a reactive campaign to protect our market share. Both projects had simultaneous non-negotiable deadlines. Task: my task was to successfully launch the primary product campaign on schedule while simultaneously developing and deploying the new competitive campaign. This required a dedicated balance of resources, time, and team collaboration to ensure neither project suffered. Action: the first I first met with both the product launch and competitive teams to clearly define the top priorities and required assets for each campaign. I then used a project management tool similar to Monday.com to create a master schedule mapping out all key milestones and dependencies. I prioritized the core product launch as the highest priority, but allocated specific blocks of the time of each day to the competitive campaign. I also worked with the creative team to identify existing assets we could quickly adapt for the new campaign, reducing the need for new content creation. I held brief daily stand up meetings to track progress and proactively address any roadblocks. Result: By meticulously prioritizing and communicating with all stakeholders, we successfully launched the new product campaign on time. We also deployed the competitive campaign within 48 hours, which helped us maintain our share of the voice in market. The proactive planning and clear communication prevented delays and ensured both critical projects met their objectives. 2. A B testing and creative optimization. Question: describe a time when you used data from A B testing to significantly improve performance of a paid media campaign. Answer: situation. We were running a user acquisition campaign for a mobile game, but the click through rates, CTR, and conversion rates were underperforming. We were spending a significant budget but weren't seeing the return on ad spend we expected. Task: my goal was to identify the creative elements that were holding back performance and optimize the campaign to improve key metrics like CTR and conversion rates. Action: I designed a comprehensive A B testing plan. We tested various creative elements, including different video lengths, static image variations, and call to action CTA button copy. Using our analytics platform, I set up tests to measure which creative combinations drove the highest engagement and conversions. I also introduced a new ad creative featuring gameplay footage, which we had not previously used. After running the tests for a week, I analyzed the data and found that a 15-second video with specific play now call to action was significantly outperforming all other variations. Result: based on the results, we reallocated 80% of our budget to the top performing creative combination. Within the next 2 weeks, our campaign CTR increased by over 30% and our conversion rate improved by 15%, leading to a substantial decrease in our cost per install. This demonstrated the value of data-driven creative optimization in a tangible way. Collaborating with cross-functional teams. Tell me about a time you had to work closely with cross-functional team, such as creative or project, to achieve a campaign goal. What was your role and how did you ensure a successful collaboration? Situation: we were launching a downloadable content DLC pack for an existing game title. The paid media campaign required a variety of assets, including trailers, screenshots, and custom art. We needed to ensure the messaging was consistent with the in-game experience and marketing materials. My task was to serve as the liaison between the advertising planning team and the internal creative traffic and game development teams. I needed to coordinate the delivery of all necessary media assets on time for the campaign launch. Action: I initiated a kickoff meeting with all the relevant stakeholders from each team. I presented the campaign on time and media plan outlining our specific assets needed to in the deadlines. I set up and shared a document where everyone could track progress in asset delivery. I also proactively scheduled weekly check-ins with the creative and traffic teams to review assets, provide feedback, and address any potential delays. For example, when a specific video asset was taking longer than expected, I worked with the traffic team to adjust the ad schedule and launch with alternative assets first, ensuring we didn't miss our launch window. Result: through consistent communication and collaboration problem solving, we successfully gathered all the required assets ahead of the launch date. This seamless collaboration resulted in a well synchronized campaign that effectively drove traffic and sales for the new DLC pack, proving the importance of a strong interdepartmental relationship. That seemed like a pretty good result, and it seemed quite thorough. Um, what I what I liked about it was it did break down every single situation. It made it clear to understand while also giving examples, and then also throwing out numbers as well, numbers and results. So continuing on. So I have another job here from, and this one's being offered by IGN for a digital inventory specialist. And let's see if this one gives us a little bit more of a description of the role. So as a digital inventory specialist at Humble Bundle, you'll play a vital role in maintaining the health and availability of our digital product inventory across bundles, choice, and store. You will be responsible for forecasting inventory demand, managing relationships with publishing partners, and ensuring we have an adequate quantity of product inventory to support promotions and customer demand for our subscription and bundle products. This role requires a proactive mindset and the ability to collaborate across internal and external stakeholders. This role follows a standard full-time schedule with no expectation to work on weekends, holidays, or unusual hours. Travel is not required for this position. Okay, perfect. So let's go on to what Gemini here has to say about this role. Question 1. Tell me about a time you had to manage multiple projects with competing deadlines. Situation. At my last job as a project coordinator, our team was preparing for the launch of a new product while simultaneously managing 2 large client-facing projects. All 3 had tight overlapping deadlines. My main task was to ensure all projects were completed on time into a high standard without sacrificing quality or overwhelming the team. I needed to create a clear plan to prioritize tasks and manage resources effectively. Action. I met with the project lead to determine the critical path for each project. I created a master timeline using a project management tool and color-coded tasks by priority. I held a brief daily stand-up meeting to identify any blockers and reallocate resources as needed. I also communicated regularly with the stakeholders to manage their expectations and provide progress updates. By proactively managing the timelines and communicating clearly with the team and stakeholders, all 3 projects were launched successfully and on time. The client projects received positive feedback, and the new product launch exceeded our initial performance goals. Describe a difficult challenge you faced at work and how you overcame it. Situation. While we were working in customer support, a new software update for our product was released, but it contained a critical bug that caused widespread issues for our users. We were immediately flooded with support tickets and phone calls. My task was to handle the influx of frustrated customers and provide a temporary solution while the engineering team worked on a permanent fix. I also needed to keep internal team and customers informed. Action. I first created a detailed script and a list of troubleshooting steps for my team to use so we could provide consistent information to every customer. I then compiled a list of most common issues from the support ticket and gave it to the engineering team to help them prioritize the bug fix. Finally, I worked with the marketing team to send a mass email to all affected customers, acknowledging the issue and providing a clear timeline for the fix. The proactive communication helped reduce customer frustration, and the structured approach allowed us to manage the high volume of support requests efficiently. The engineering team was able to release the patch within 24 hours, and we received positive feedback from the customers who appreciated our transparency and quick results. That was an example of the STAR method. I hope this review has been helpful, especially if you are trying to get a digital media or digital marketing job within the gaming universe. Additionally, If if you have applied to either one of these positions, then good luck to you, and I hope this has helped you out. Have a good day. Bye.